Blog is going to focus on burnout, 5 ways that we can avoid burnout, 5 ways that we can be getting close to burnout, and why, if we've already reached burnout, it is not fun. So the first thing that I want to talk about is putting yourself first. Now, as women, this is not something that we're great with doing. If we've got, a lot of responsibilities, if we have children, if we have work, if we have family, if we have friends, usually what happens with burnout is that somewhere along the line we've ended up putting ourselves at the bottom of our to-do list. And I see a lot of people, madly, doing their weekly schedule, and sometimes I look at people's schedules and they're just crazy. There's like 15-minute increment blocks to be able to get everything done in their life, and we'll talk about being a robot in a minute. But if your mental health, your physical health, what you love, time to yourself, if all of those things go to the bottom of your to-do list and priority list, then eventually what happens is that there's just no time left for you and yourself. The second thing is that if you really dislike what you do, or what you do every day lacks passion and purpose. So you might be really good at your job, you might do a great job at what it is that you go out into the world and do every day, but if it's not your actual passion and your actual purpose, you can put purpose and passion into what you're doing, but if it's not yours, it ends up becoming really, really draining. It drains a lot of your energy. And when you don't have that joy, that excitement, and that creativity flowing, you can feel quite mentally drained. So burnout can come about in different ways. Another way that it can come about is by not eating well. So if we're really busy and we're really stressed, then one of the first things that disappears is our ability to feed ourselves really, really awesome food. It's usually the first thing to go off our list, and it's the one thing that can save us from ever getting to that point, because, to avoid burnout, we need great sleep, we need energy, we need clarity, we need to be able to fuel the body to have those things. So when it's the first thing that we let go, it can be the one thing that leads us towards that edge. Never having time to yourself or time alone. This is really important. There are 3 aspects to every person. There is the public version of you that you show to the whole world, maybe who you show to everyone that you work with, and then there is the private person that you show to your friends and family in a more intimate environment, and then there is your inner self, your most private self, the part of yourself that only you know best. And when you don't get enough time to have that, it can literally lead you to breaking point. For me, time to self is the most crucial thing. As soon as it disappears, for me, it's what gives me the most stress. So having that time to yourself. The 5th thing that can lead us towards burnout is working like a robot. Now, I love work. I like to work. And, what I'm saying is not working. What I'm saying is that if you override all of the phases of stress, the little warnings that your body gives you constantly throughout the day, and you are literally disconnected from the fact that you are actually sitting in a body, that this body needs time to heal, it needs time to rest, it needs time to digest. When you override all of those systems, you end up running off pure adrenaline, and it might feel like you have energy, but it's not actually your energy. And this is where you start actually dipping into reserves. So the first thing that we want to focus on is self first. So whatever your to-do list is for the week, see what will happen if you put yourself at the top of that list. What if you became your number 1 priority, above children, above everything? Bring your passions into your life. If you can't do what you're passionate about for work or for most of your day, then try little increments of bringing in those little bubbling passions that you have sitting under the surface. It might be painting, it might be walking, it might be fishing. I don't care what it is, but find a way to bring them into your week and do them as often as you can, even if it's in bite-sized chunks. Food. There is so much information on the internet. There are so many free recipes. There is literally no excuse why we can't eat well. Most of us live in countries where we have an abundance of amazing food readily available to us. So I have a free 7-day challenge on my website, which gives you a free 7-day menu plan. I also give you free recipes. So jump on it over and kickstart that challenge. When you get into the Facebook group, you get lots of support from other people. But if the food issue is the one thing that you've let go, that's the first thing that we need to focus on. It's the most important thing because it gives you that foundation for the clarity, for the energy, for the sleep, for, and for your mental health. So the fourth thing that we want to do is schedule time alone for you to do what you love. This could just be stargazing. This could just be reading a book, but having time alone with nobody else around so that inner self, not just the private self, but the inner self can have that time to refill. Okay? Number 5, acknowledge that you're a human and not a robot. Get a schedule out and have a look at how you've set up your day. If you're working to like ridiculous 15-minute increments, which I've seen people do, I want you to consider what the human body needs to be able to not just function but flourish every day, and make sure that you're allowing for that. Is there enough sleep? Is there enough rest time? Is there digest time? Is there bean time? Is there fun? Is there enough time to have the healthy food? These are all of the things that we need to consider when we want a human to flourish as opposed to working like a robot. So this has been a very quick blog. Burnout. We want to avoid it. Burnout sucks. If you get to the point where you're down and you can't get up, it ends up, number one, it becomes very, very costly. Okay? If you can't work, if you can't be creative, if you can't be effective, and you start to lose that zest for life because your stress levels and your stress hormones are at a heightened state, your creativity and that love and zest for life tends to disappear. So if you're already there, you need to follow all 5 steps. If you're almost there, I want you to consider putting yourself first, bringing passion into your days, considering the effect of what you're eating on your mental health, and your energy and your clarity and your sleep, scheduling time alone to protect and nurture that inner self, and acknowledging that you're a human and not a robot. So very quick blog. I hope these tips have been helpful, and I hope you have a great day.